Greetings, fellow citizens. My name is Ellen Batchelor Jr., known as Captain Kagain on the forums, and I'm the founder of SkyGuard Fabrications. I'm currently a 3D artist working out of New York City on mobile games. I've decided to build a Windfire EX because I love powerful weapons, and it was the perfect opportunity to build something that looked overpowered. The weapon itself was inspired by the Sakura flower, which you'll notice the cannon itself has 5 barrels to represent that. Part of the challenge was also to incorporate Jean technology. So to do that, I implemented some extra flair to the shielding casing around the barrel itself. While building the weapon, I was looking at concept art from Killzone, District 9, the Xi'an capital ship, and a ton of Xi'an architecture that was released throughout the development of Star Citizen. For the logo itself, you'll notice that the flower has 6 petals on it instead of 5, and the reason for that is using the 5 petals to represent that Sakura Corp is an Earth-based company just like the flower itself, and the 6th petal is to represent how much alien technology they like to implement into their weaponry. Originally, I developed the weapon to be much more organic. It had a lot of rounded shapes in order to reflect a lot of the early Xi'an architecture. Halfway through development, you guys ended up releasing the Xi'an capital ship, which looked nothing like organic or rounded shapes. With my final design, I ended up putting together a 3D sketch of the model just to make sure I had all the proportions correct. And I rendered that out and brought it into Photoshop. Once I was in Photoshop, I spent some time painting over the colors and all the details just to make sure I had everything looking really nice. I ended up using that as a reference to build my high polygon model. And with the high polygon model ready, I went ahead and built the low polygon model and cleaned it up and set it up for UV unwrapping. Once that was done, I took it into XNormal and baked out all the normal maps, all the ambient occlusion maps, and used that as the base to build my diffuse, my normal, my spec, and eventually my glow map for all the glowy bits on the weapon. I've never really crowdfunded anything in my life before, but there was something about Star Citizen that I just couldn't resist. The promise of being able to explore space with my friends drove me to purchasing a Super Hornet with the military skin, a Starfarer, and the Gladiator bomber. As soon as I heard about Star Citizen, I immediately started modeling out my own ship because I was determined to mod it into the game. I even purchased the modding toolkit to make sure that once the game came out, I would have an easy way of getting that stuff in. But fortunately for me, the Next Great Starship competition was announced, which gave me the perfect way of getting my ship designs into the game proper. Not just modded in, but in for everybody to enjoy. And I got super excited about that. So I immediately set aside all the work I had already done and started working on the Gatling cannon to make sure I got a spot in the 16 teams to compete for, the grand prize, to get your ship into the game. I cannot wait to compete, and I cannot wait to see my ship flying through the verse.